Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahlial in this incarnation, and today I wanted to talk about the illusion of separation. And this topic actually is something that I mentioned in every video that I uploaded in this channel, because it is totally impossible to talk about the Age of Aquarius, the ascension process, and spirituality in general without understanding this concept. And separation actually comes from our ego, and it is part of the experience. I mean, we all incarnated here with this sense of individualization, and we know that we don't have to destroy any ego here. We only have to put it at service, and maybe in a future we won't need that identification as a natural consequence of our evolution, but meanwhile, we only have to put it at service, and many times ego is very resistant. So it's very important to understand that we are all one, and I think many people heard this from many spiritual lines and all these kind of things. But every concept we learn from spirituality is in order to make an application on our daily life, because if we are not doing that, it's only a spiritual bypass. I mean, yeah, we are all one, but we have to put that in practice. And I gave examples in other videos of how, for example, the earth is an living entity, and how we are all connected to the earth. So our emotions are very linked to seismic movements, big fires, our anger. So every emotion that we are having in a collective way creates, for example, the climate change. Apart from the influences that purposely or unconsciously many humans are doing here. But it's very important to understand how we are connected to this. In fact, everything is made of the same divine substance. A stone and an animal and a human, everything is part of the same. It's just that there are different phases of consciousness. I mean, the first phase is the consciousness of the stone, of a mineral, and then there's the animals, and there's humans. So we all, in essence, are light. So everything, in order to live in this world, in order to be manifested, have to have a certain amount of light. And this I explained in the video of that too. The level of most light in all the universe has a little tiny point of darkness or high light, and the level of more darkness has a little point of light. So this is the yin and yang symbol, which is channeled, of course. So as I said before, everybody in its essence, it's light. But in the experimentation, we are all in different processes. I mean, I explained this many times, but we are taking away these shells of the ego in order to connect to ourselves, to our own light. This is like barriers that we are having, and we are expanding our vessel, and we are able to receive more light. So in this process, of course, there's a lot of humans that are in different ones. I mean, there are superior and inferior levels of consciousness, but I think it's very important to clarify this, because respecting with the mirror law, if someone else does something that is, and it doesn't matter if I am perceiving that action from a positive or negative way, if that person does something that provokes in myself any emotion, then that person is reflecting me something, an aspect of myself. It doesn't matter if it's in a superior or inferior level of consciousness. And I am saying this because many people don't like to see aspects of themselves that are projected in other people. And it doesn't matter the level of consciousness, again. So this invokes humility, because we could perceive that other brother or sister are in an inferior level of consciousness, but perception is not judgment. So if I perceive that, but then I start to feel that I am better than that person, then I'm falling in pride. I'm being prideful, and well, that comes from ego too. And we have to understand that every human being here can teach me something. So we are all in a process of evolution, so that there's no better or worse. but there are different levels. And I am saying this because I did other video explaining how, for example, if we are focusing on negative aspects of other people and we are reproducing them to if we are talking of negative aspects of other brothers and sisters, we are creating disconnection from light. And every little act that is not that little because they make the whole that we are doing, and from this place, from disconnection from the light, is creating the collective manifestation. I explained this in the video of sacred sexuality too, because many of us, we didn't know how to practice this in an elevated way. Many of us, we didn't know the potential of sexual energy and the amount of the enormous potential that we have to reveal light with this practice if we do in an elevated way. We could literally heal the entire world if all of us could practice this in an elevated way. But many of us, we didn't know how to. And when we are practicing this and we are living this energy in the lower chakras, and we are doing this from an egoistical pleasure and not to share love, we are creating all the distortions of sexuality in the society. Perversions, white slavery, prostitution, pornography. Pornography is designed to implant programations. So the age of kids that are consuming pornography has decreased. Now children of 8 years old are consuming that, and that kind of things are distortions of the sexual energy. They are implanted things in kids that are very, very wrong. So we have to take care with the things that kids are consuming on the internet, of course. But first of all, we have to learn how to elevate our own sexual energy, how we can channel this in the best way possible, and how important it is to share our temple with other person from a place of love. So as I said before, every action that individuals take creates the collective manifestation. But in order to not lose hope, there are many people right now that are in this process of awakening, and the labor of the people that are understanding and taking accountability of their power and their responsibility and the co-creation of this reality. It's very, very important, because it doesn't matter if the majority, if most of the world is acted in a distorted way, because as much as we are expanding our vessel and we are able to receive more and more light, we don't need to be the majority. We only have to make it as good as possible. And when I am saying that spirituality and connect ourselves to love is a practice, I mean that every time maybe we won't do it in a perfect way. We cannot be perfect. Imperfection is part of the human existence. But I think it's important to develop the intention of get better every time. And as much as you are gaining consciousness in this process, the more that your acts will have an impact on the world. So that's why the spiritual labor is such an important thing. It really changes all. And I think, since I was born in this world, I heard all these talks about insecurity and criminals and the corrupt politicians and all these things. And I think we as humans have this tendency to complain about things from this role victim place, and we are not taking responsibility of the actions that have created that reality. So I think we shouldn't complain no more. We should understand why this is happening in order to change it. And if we really want a more peaceful world, we have to create peace from the inside, because we are not able to project a reality on the outside that we cannot sustain with what we have in ourselves. So I just wanted to leave this message today. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.